No question. All right,
Yeah.
David Blasting, let's get to a couple movies. You want to start with Storks or the Magnificent Mets? Or, I'm sorry, the Magnificent Seven.
Well, let's start with Storks and just get it out of the way. You know, on paper, when I first heard about this movie, I didn't love the idea just because the whole idea of storks delivering babies is really an antiquated story, and I don't even know anyone who even shares that with their children. I feel like that's something from, you know, our parents, probably maybe even our grandparents' generation, but still a cute idea. Nicholas Stoller is the guy who wrote and directed this, and he's responsible for a lot of funny movies and funny TV as well. He directed Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is a movie I love. I think you like that movie.
I did
too,
like
right?
that movie. That was a good movie.
Yeah, you know, he also did The Muppets, and he directed Neighbors, and he wrote and directed Neighbors 2, which I think is probably one of the funniest movies this year. So I'm going to give it a chance. And you also give Andy Samberg is voicing the main character, but it's not great. It's really clunky. And if I sat here and I explained to you what the movie was about, you'd be like, that's kind of hard to follow. And it is. It doesn't really lend itself to kids. The thing that will appeal to kids, the characters are definitely cute. The cadence and the way in which they speak is pretty funny. So they'll enjoy it. They're going to enjoy it a lot more than adults. But it's not the whole package, not like what we've become used to or accustomed to with a DreamWorks movie, with a good DreamWorks movie or a good Pixar Disney movie. So 2.5 out of 5 stars.
All right, that's Storks. What about the Magnificent Seven? Is this, I'm assuming, a remake?
Yeah, well, you always wince when you hear somebody's going to remake a classic movie. Mm-hmm. You know, classic movies, they're classic for a reason. They don't need to be remade. But when you have a Denzel Washington and a Chris Pratt on board and Antoine Fuqua who's directing the movie, and you know, Denzel Washington won an Oscar with one of his collaborations with Anton Fuqua, and then also you're bringing Ethan Hawke back, and the three of them work together in Training Day. That's what Denzel Washington won his Oscar. You know, you're kind of like, yeah, all right, you're going to give this a chance, and you know what? It's borderline terrific. I mean, it's a really fun movie, very entertaining. Denzel Washington, you know, he's pretty much never in a bad movie. You know, sometimes he takes a role that's just a little over the top, and the movie's just a little over the top. But this one is really pitch perfect. It's a terrific take on the classic Western style. You know, you look at the original Magnificent Seven, and it is just chock full of stereotypes, which were okay back then. They really weren't, but they were okay back then. And you look at it now, and you're like, I can't believe people actually portrayed characters that way. And this movie is much more respectful to every type of person that shows up in this film. It really is colorblind, and you don't notice it, and it's just terrific. What a well-executed movie. 4 out of 5 stars.
All right. Lastly, what were you doing driving across Westchester? Were you going to the Clinton compound?
You're not supposed to talk about that.
Oh, I apologize. Oh, all right. He was on his way to or from Chappaqua.
I live in Westchester.
Yeah, likely story. Yeah, good excuse. All right, David, have a good weekend. Thanks, man.
Take care.